The views expressed are solely those of the speaker and not necessarily those of Paltalk.com, AVM software, or its advertisers.
Good evening, folks. News Talk is online. News Talk Online is a production of Paltalk.com, the largest multimedia interactive program on the Internet, with more than 4 million unique users on demand on iTunes and on YouTube. And on Gary's blog, www.garybaumgarten.com, where you are invited to comment whether you agree with Gary or not. And thanks to our friends on CRN Digital Talk Radio, we're syndicated coast to coast across the United States to 12 million additional households. I'm your host, Boaz Franco. Folks, get your dice out, get your boards out. Today, for this hour, we are going to play Monopoly. That's right, Monopoly. Everybody's played Monopoly, right? You know what that is. Well, get ready for a very serious game of Monopoly. Obama's stimulus plan, but I call it Obama's $500. Warning of dire economic consequences. President-elect Obama today called for swift congressional action on his proposed economic stimulus package after he takes office later this month. The problem is that in order for the stimulus package to work, the money must get out the door very quickly. And that raises the issue of money not spent on needed infrastructure projects. Already, many mayors have put in for money for what can only be described as pork barrel projects for their communities. Obama's appointment of a compliance officer to oversee the spending should prevent some waste. But with as much as $800 billion on the line, some poor spending choices are going to be inevitable. Obama is warning of double-digit unemployment should the package not be quickly adopted by Congress. Well, folks, some would say, well, remember the game Monopoly? Yeah, that's right. Obama is bringing change, all right. Go to communism, directly to communism, pass by socialism if you make under $75K, and collect $500. And then you roll the dice again. See? It's a game of Monopoly. But Obama says for every day we wait or point fingers or drag our feet, more Americans will lose their jobs. More families will lose their savings. More dreams will be deferred and denied. And our nation will sink deeper into a crisis that at some point we may not be able to reverse. Now, I'll tell you good people something. Without trying to sound like an accountant during the tax season, I would like to know how, okay, and I'm going to refer to you, Alan J.C., our political correspondent here on Paltalk.com, on News Talk Online, how $500 that Americans will get in tax cuts is going to help, meaning, okay, you have $500 more to spend. What do you spend it on, and will it make a difference in your personal financial situation? Now, I'm going to put all this paperwork aside here. I just wanted to open the show and get a feel for what we're talking about, to give you an idea of what I want to talk about. I'm no accountant. I majored in computer sciences, and I was taught at a very early age, like everyone else here, that 2 plus 2 equals 4. Okay, but 2 plus 2 can only equal 4 if you have numbers that you can pull out of your pocket. Now, if the U.S. government does not have anything in its treasury, 2 plus 2 really amounts to 0. All right, we understand that the U.S. government is about to take a huge step here in a direction to save the American economy by putting itself into a deeper debt, possibly near $1 trillion, about $800 billion. We understand that this is a step that is necessary. It's a catch-22. We've discussed it, and we know that we have to do it. But now and today, we're going to start talking about where is this going to take us and if it's really going to have an effect on our economy. And I'm talking about two things here. One specifically, I like that point in text from Buttweed. 500 pays for a lot of lotto tickets. And I'm wondering actually what Americans that are paid a bracket of under 75K a year are going to do with $500. It's not that they're going to get. I mean, that they'll have a tax cut of $500. Now, this I understand is, to my understanding, is going to be a one-time tax cut. Okay, one time, fine, $500. Well, if you add that up, it comes out to a lot of money. But remember, okay, not all Americans are taxpayers. So we're talking about all taxpayers that are going to get this $500. What do you do with the $500? Okay, what do you do with it? Now, you have to first of all think, what is the average debt of an American? The average debt of an American is actually way over $500. So this $500 really, in my opinion, is not for spending. It's just for lowering the average debt that the private American citizen has. I mean, if we people think that this $500 cut is clear money that we can take and go spend on somewhere, to go to Disneyland or to go to the mall to buy some more clothes or to buy a new pair of expensive shoes or who knows what, well, I got news for all of you. No, absolutely not. Most Americans will look at that $500 as just lowering their debt a little bit. It's not spending money. Let's get that illusion out of our minds. But you know what? That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. Obama's package, $800 billion, which part of it is supposed to go into the auto industry. Part of it is supposed to go into the infrastructure. I like the idea that Obama is appointing an officer to oversee the spending, which I think is a good idea, which is an excellent idea. Government money that goes into the private sector, people start rubbing their hands with greed, saying, "Ha, this is money for the government. Boy, I got to get my hands on it." No, it's not. Hopefully, it won't be that way.